Ah, procrastination, the art of putting things off till the very last moment. We've all been there. You have a looming deadline, but instead of tackling that work, you find yourself cleaning your room or watching videos of people making slime. And we get it. Sometimes procrastination can feel good. It feels good to watch other people clean their rooms or make slime. But it also feels good because it lets us avoid the stress of the work we need to do. And sometimes the thing we're putting off is something we really don't want to do. So, procrastinating by doing something more pleasant seems like a pretty fair trade. But while you might think you're being clever by avoiding those tasks, psychologists say that procrastination can end up hurting you in the long run. So if you're ready to stop putting things off once and for all, keep watching to learn about the psychology of procrastination so you can finally put an end to it. Don't believe the hype. First, let's look at why we even procrastinate in the first place. Contrary to popular belief, psychologists say that most of us don't procrastinate because we're lazy or undisciplined. In fact, research shows that procrastination is usually a way for us to cope with negative emotions like fear and anxiety. Let's say you have to give a presentation in class. You might feel afraid of what others will think of you. So instead of practicing your presentation, you find yourself daydreaming, cleaning your room, or binging the latest season of your favorite show. Even though you know you should be practicing, these activities help you escape the stressful feeling of having to perform in front of your class. And even though they don't have anything to do with your presentation, you might actually feel better after taking a break and doing something fun. But unfortunately, every time you take a break, you're reinforcing the idea that you don't have to face whatever it is that you're avoiding. And this avoidance can snowball into bigger problems down the line. Face your fears. So how can you break this cycle? Well, the first step to overcoming procrastination is learning how to identify and manage those negative emotions you're feeling. If you feel overwhelmed when you think about a task, try breaking it down into smaller steps so you can tackle it one step at a time. The less daunting the task seems, the less you'll feel like avoiding it. You can also try reframing the negative thoughts you have about the task. Instead of thinking, "I have to clean my entire room," try saying, "I get to spend some time organizing my stuff." Or instead of thinking, "Everyone's gonna watch me present," try, "I get to share what I've learned with the class." When you reframe your negative thoughts in this way, you'll feel less stressed and more motivated to complete the task. Set the stage for success. Once you've managed those negative emotions, the next step is to set the stage for success. This means removing any obstacles that stand between you and your task, so that when it's time to work, you're not met with resistance. So if you need to write an essay but haven't started researching yet, try making a quick outline of the essay. That way you won't have to waste time figuring out where to start when it's actually time to write. Or if you have to study for a big test, try gathering all the materials you'll need beforehand. That way you can hit the books right away when it's study time. By removing as many obstacles as possible, you'll be able to dive right into your work without wasting time or energy. Take action. Now that you've managed your emotions and removed any obstacles, it's time to take action. Try starting with just 5 minutes of work. It doesn't seem like much, but research shows that once you get started, you're more likely to finish the task. Getting started can be easier said than done, especially if you're dealing with a big project. So if you're still feeling overwhelmed, try breaking the task into small chunks and setting timers for 5-minute blocks of work, followed by 1-minute breaks. By forcing yourself to work in short bursts, you'll trick your brain into getting started, which can make the whole process less daunting. And don't forget to celebrate your accomplishments along the way. Every time you finish a chunk of work, give yourself a pat on the back. Not only does this boost your mood, but it also reinforces the idea that you can complete those tasks you were avoiding. Learn from your mistakes. Of course, sometimes, despite our best efforts, we still procrastinate. If this happens, don't beat yourself up. Instead, try to figure out what caused you to procrastinate this time so you can avoid it in the future. For example, if you kept getting distracted by your phone, Try turning your phone off or putting it in another room while you work. Or, if you kept getting hungry and wanted to grab a snack, try keeping healthy snacks nearby so you don't have to leave your workspace. By identifying the things that cause you to procrastinate, you can remove them or come up with solutions so you can stay focused on the task at hand. Reward your wins. Finally, when you do successfully complete a task that you were avoiding, make sure to reward yourself. This could mean with a nice snack, some time to play a game, or anything else that you enjoy. By rewarding your wins, you reinforce the idea that hard work pays off and you'll be more likely to tackle those tasks in the future. It also helps to remember that everyone procrastinates from time to time, so don't be hard on yourself if it happens. Just do your best to understand why you were procrastinating, make a plan to avoid it in the future, and celebrate your successes along the way. In the end, we know that facing the things we're afraid of is never easy. But by understanding the psychology of procrastination, we can learn how to manage our emotions, set ourselves up for success, and reward our hard work. So if you're tired of putting things off, use these tips to help you get started today. If you enjoyed this video, you might like our video on 7 things that make you a genius. According to science, procrastination isn't always a bad thing. Sometimes it can help you come up with creative solutions. So check it out to see if you have any of these genius traits.